Hello, let's look together how to set up OAuth connection for the libraries. There are two typical places where you can need it. The first one is in the configuration tab of the libraries on the server, where very often something as OAuth connection URL like this in the zero connector, or HubSpot OAuth connection for the HubSpot library. The second use case would be directly linking it into the subgraphs which you are using from the libraries. So let's look together how to set it up. To set up the connection, we need to have sandbox on the same server. All of the users which will be using the libraries should have read permission, at least read permission for that sandbox. Inside of the sandbox, we will create the dummy graph, which will serve us to create the connection. Here down in the outline, connection, create OAuth2 connections. We need to say where we want to place it. Usually we are using it in the conf folder. And we will create a connection.cfg. This is the key part, that CFG file, which we will later on link into the libraries. So next. Here we need to set up the name. So for example, Microsoft Azure. Then select the provider. Here is the list of some predefined ones. If you don't see your provider in the list, use the generic. In that case, you will need to set up not just the basics, but also advanced authorization endpoints, token endpoints. For us, let's try to do it with the Azure here. So what I need to do is put there the client ID, secret ID, which I can get on the side of the Azure when I need to, or the provider in general, where I will set up the connection. Then fill all of the credentials and the scopes here. In advance, you can see that it's already pre-calculated because we select the Azure. The key part is the redirect URL, which is CloverDX server. It can be either localhost or OAuth usually requires HTTPS, which means be careful, your server has to be on HTTPS. We are done here for now, so I can select the authorize. It will give me the pop-up window where I need to log in and basically authorize the connection from the side of the provider. Accept. Connection has been authorized. We are fine and ready to use it. So now I have my connection defined here in the connection.cfg file, and I can go back to the server. And here in the URL, I need to put the sandbox // name of the sandbox in which my connection is, and then path to the connection itself. And that would be it. Save changes, and we are done. The same URL I can use, for example, in the Azure Key Vault library, and place it directly into the property on the connectors. And this is how we set up OAuth connection.